What's up, everybody? Coach Bergen here, and this is my purpose right now. I'm going to read an article and I'm going to help you to understand it a little bit better. That way you don't have to read on your own. I'll do it for you. You just got to listen, watch, and figure out how to apply it to your life. And I'll try to help you every way I can. I think we're just going to learn together. So, how to deal with anxiety using these 7 coping strategies for stress. Do you ever feel stressed out? It could be at work, at home, or just in general. Maybe you find yourself worrying a lot and anticipating what could happen, or if things are going to go wrong. You might be very overwhelmed and this is causing you a lot of stress, or you may not even know how overstressed you actually are. Stress does affect a lot of us, but if you can learn how to cope with stress, you can hopefully start to feel more under control and not let things overwhelm you too much. Today, we're going to look at some coping strategies for stress. But first, let's talk about the psychology behind it. Alright, interesting. So, definitely, stress is the silent killer, and it raises cortisol levels, and it creates that fight or flight response. And in today's world, there's not really a lot of life or death scenarios where you need that as much, where you need that response as much. So, the psychology of stress. What exactly is stress and why does it happen? Stress is both the physical and psychological response to pressure or danger. In this day and age, it's not so much a clear threat of danger, but rather the perception of danger or pressure that may be around you, such as someone yelling at you or talking to a room full of people. I understand that can cause anxiety and stress, and they say people are more scared of speaking in front of people than they are of death. So I understand. It's a common thing. It's okay. We're gonna work on getting past it. I used to be scared to talk to anybody. Alright. Our automatic response to pressure or danger is the flight or fight response, which I just talked about before. What this means is that the hormones are released into your body, such as adrenaline, which causes your heartbeat to speed up and prepares your muscles for action. This is why you may feel dizzy or sick. Your body will also take some time to calm down after this response has happened. So stress is caused when you are in a situation that you see as a threat or very overwhelming. Symptoms of stress. It's good to know what the symptoms of stress are so that you can know and understand when you are stressed and what you can do to change the situation. There's always a way to change the situation. You just gotta find it. Alright? Whether it's in your thoughts, who you're surrounding yourself with, your environment, whatever. You'll figure it out. We're gonna figure it out together. So, symptoms of stress. It's good to know what the symptoms of stress are so that you can know and understand when you are stressed and what you can do to change the situation. There are both physical and emotional symptoms of stress. Here is a stress symptoms checklist so that you can look out for any symptoms you may have. Headaches, upset stomach, low energy, feeling bad about yourself, avoiding other people. All of those aren't very fun, and I have experienced them. And, I know all of this will help. So, 7 ways to deal with stress. If you are able to learn how to deal with your stress, you should then start to be able to cope with it in your day-to-day life and know what coping strategies work for you. Knowing how to deal with stress will will be able, knowing how to deal with stress will be able to help you to face it much easier and hopefully not feel as overwhelmed. This should then help your symptoms subside and start to feel better knowing that you can deal with your symptoms and you will know what makes you feel better. Let's have a look at some coping strategies for stress. Okay, the first one, avoid caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine. Okay, so coffee, alcohol, beer, wine, whatever you drink, nicotine, cigarettes, okay? If you can avoid all of those things, that'll definitely help you with your anxiety. It'll definitely help you with your stress. So, alcohol is a depressant, so as you can probably guess, is not great if you're prone to feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Alcohol will increase your stress levels and is not recommended if you're feeling stressed. It will most likely make you feel worse. I agree. I don't like how it makes me feel, so that's why I don't drink. Caffeine and nicotine are stimulants, so again, will cause your stress levels to increase. It's best to avoid these if you can. Definitely, at least in moderation is what I'll say, but probably the less the better might help you. It all depends on how your body reacts to it. Everybody's different. Try and swap caffeine for water and herbal teas. So I definitely think water is more beneficial than coffee. And I think most of us don't drink enough water. And we're all hyped up on caffeine all day long. And they'll say that America runs on Dunkin'. Well, that's kind of what has happened. We're running on caffeine. So maybe best to cut back. You don't have to completely avoid, but just cut back, dial it back a little bit. Alright, try and swap caffeine for water and herbal teas. Herbal teas are helpful to relax and calm you down too. These stimulants and depressants also won't solve any problems you may have. They are more likely to create new ones. So it's best to stay away from these when you can. Okay, great. Second one, exercise. Exercise is great for the brain. It releases toxins and also clears your mind. This is normally why you always feel so good after some physical activity. It also helps us to calm down too. As we spoke about earlier, the flight or fight response happens when we are stressed or overwhelmed, and exercise can help with this. As the physical responses to stress include having an increased heart rate and preparing our muscles into action, physical activity will help repress these symptoms. If you can go for a daily walk, this will help clear your mind and also improve your sleep as you are using up your energy. Exercise also restores your body into a relaxed and calmer state after you have finished your physical activity, which is great for people who are stressed. Exercises that I like to have my clients do that are overly stressed is I hold pads, I give them boxing gloves, and they just get out all their stress. Love it. So exercise, exercise, exercise. There are so many benefits to exercise. Motion creates positive emotions, all right? It's a great thing, very beneficial. I can talk on that all day long, but let's keep reading the article. 3, have some me time. Overworking can often lead to stress. Yes, it definitely can. A lot of people, work a lot. They're workaholics, and it can become very, very stressful, especially if you get tied up in your work. Like if you bring it home with you, is a phrase. If you are constantly working, you can sometimes get caught up in your own time and time you spend on work. This is why it is always good to have some me time. This could be something that relaxes you, such as reading a book before bed, watching your favorite film, talking to a family member, etc. It's something you enjoy doing. It puts you in a calmer state of mind, and hopefully you can forget about your stresses from the day. It may be helpful to have a look at some of our self-care ideas and see what might work for you. So, self-care would be like going and getting a massage or going to the gym and exercising, that's my me time. Also using the sauna, I love that. I think it's very beneficial in a lot of ways, and it's like a sauna therapy almost, because it clears your mind and it clears out all the bad energy, and it's great. So that's why I enjoy it. Some people enjoy golf. I loved it too. I tried it, a couple weeks back. Awesome. First time I ever played it, and I definitely want to do it again. So anyways, there's all kinds of things you can do. You just got to find what you enjoy and go and do it. And that'll help take back some stress. Alright, 4, keep your daily to-do list short. This is a great one, okay? You can easily get very stressed if there are too many things on your to-do list. You could worry you won't get them all done, which will only cause more stress for yourself. Yeah, exactly. Too many to-dos in too short amount of time, it becomes very overwhelming very quickly. It's not enjoyable, and so less is more. All right. A great way to feel less stressed with this is to list down the essential jobs that you have and make a short list where you can focus on the main things that need doing. Try not to worry if you will or won't get everything on it done. As you have a shorter list, it will also be easier to get more of your list done too. You won't feel as overwhelmed, and you can feel more focused on your list. This is a great way to manage stress in your life. So what it's saying is, when you're seeing that you're completing the list, you're going to start to kind of build momentum, and you're going to be able to keep completing them easier and easier, and you're going to be more and more focused on completing the tasks. So I think that'll be great. Okay, number 5, keep your workplace simple. Minimize. Okay, whether you work from home or in an office, it's always a good idea to have a clean, simple workspace. The most important thing to do is to get rid of anything that you no longer need, so that you won't be worrying about it. Don't let your stuff own you. You can own your stuff, but don't let it own you. Anything that has already been dealt with or no longer needs to be dealt with should not be in your workspace. Keep your workspace simple, out of the way, clean, not important. This will create a much nicer working environment for you, and you won't stress over things you don't need to, and you won't stress over things you don't need to be worrying about. It might also be nice to have a picture of a loved one or some flowers on your desk, so that way it keeps you in a good mood. Maybe a motivational poster on the wall, something. Alright, 6, keep a diary. It's always a good idea to keep a diary. When you write in a diary, you are keeping track of your progress and daily journey. Not only is it nice to write down what you're feeling and getting your emotions on a paper, but you can also keep track on everything. You will be able to see what situations made you stressed out and how you dealt with it. This shows you what you can change, and if you want to be in those situations again. You can see if there is anything you can do differently so that you are able to react in a more positive way. And then you can reflect on this at a later date or when you're feeling stressed the next time. So I think this is probably a good idea because it increases more awareness as to the choices we're making, the decisions that we're making. And it's kind of hard to increase the awareness in the moment as to what we're doing, because we're so focused onto one objective that it's hard to step back and look at the whole big picture. And so, I think this is probably a good way to be able to see, like, oh wow, I definitely overreacted, or I can definitely do this better, or I need to change this next time around. 7, get more sleep. Sleep's so important, so important. Lack of sleep is something that can cause even more stress. On the other hand, sleep can also be hard for people when they're stressed, as it can keep you awake for most of the night. So it's like a chicken and the egg thing. Are you stressed because you're not sleeping, or are you not sleeping because you're stressed? Don't know. It's for you to figure out. You gotta ask that yourself. So, if you can, it is good to relax before you sleep. So you could read a book in bed, go off your phone, or have a relaxing bath before bed. This will help you get into a more relaxed state of mind and should help you with getting to bed easier and having more sleep. It's also good to have a routine that you can stick to, where you are constantly going to bed at the same time and waking up around the same time too. So getting on a sleep schedule. So yeah, that's the end of the article. I hope that you took any value from this today, and make sure you get more sleep, consume less caffeine and alcohol, and nicotine, keep a diary, keep your workplace simple, keep your daily to-do list short, have some me time, exercise, and yeah. So hopefully you took some value from anything I said today, and remember, everything works out in the end.